Here's how you bet the NFL on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Let's go. First things first, and the simplest of them all, you sign up and you deposit. It takes a couple minutes. You put your information in, you deposit, you're good to go. Now, we have a link in the description and in the pinned comment that'll get you $150 in bonus bets when you deposit $5 and bet that $5 on whatever you want. Whether you win or lose, $150 in bonus bets is yours. It's a great offer, and you never want to turn your nose up at these because whenever you sign up at a sportsbook, you always take advantage of their sign-up bonuses. Okay, so we're in the door, and it's almost time to talk football. But before we do, take a look at the bottom of the screen. These are a few things that are going to be very important to you every day that you log into this app. First, the home screen. Easy enough. Second, in-game. You see that down there? That just means live betting. Let's say there's a Monday Night Football game and it's in the second quarter. Yes, you can bet that game live. Any game as it is in progress, you can bet live, and you can find all of them on the in-game tab. Then there's My Bets, where you can find all of your bets, whether they're active, settled, or upcoming. And then, of course, can't ignore this. This is big. Rewards. DraftKings has one of the best rewards programs out there for any sportsbook. So this is a big one. You can earn crowns, which are big because you get them every time you place a sports bet, and then you can redeem them for site credit, for casino credits, and other exclusive rewards that you can find in the DraftKings store. And another big thing are the promos. Now, every day there's going to be new promos, whether it's a profit boost, which means your profit gets boosted on certain bets, or an odds boost, which means you're getting better odds than the original line, and so many more things. So check that out every day you log in. Sometimes there's some really good stuff that you won't want to miss. All right, now let's talk some football. So this is where on the NFL tab that you'll find all of the game lines and everything else for the upcoming week and even the week after that. For the sake of this video, let's focus on the Baltimore Ravens Cincinnati Bengals game on Thursday Night Football. You're going to see a few things on the screen, and I'm going to explain all of them to you, because it is a necessity that you understand how all of the basics work before you ever place your first sports bet. The first thing is the point spread, or the spread here. You see the Ravens -3.5, the Bengals +3.5. Think of it this way. No matchup, or most matchups, are not equal on paper, okay? So this is a way for the sports books to even these matchups out in order for you to bet them without having to bet a team to win. In this case, the Baltimore Ravens at -3.5 means they're laying 3.5 points. They are favorites. One thing you need to know, the minus number means that they are a favorite. The plus number means that they are an underdog. So in this case, if you were to bet the Baltimore Ravens at -3.5, so that means that they would need to win by 4 or more points in order for you to win your bet. That's where you hear the term covering the spread. In order for you to win the Bengals bet, if you were to bet them at +3.5, or in order for them to cover the spread, they would need to lose by 3 or fewer points. Now, they could win by 10 and you still win the same amount of money, or they could lose by 3 and you still win. If they lose by 4 or more, you lose. In the case of the Dolphins and Raiders down here, the Dolphins are -12. So if you bet them at -12 and they win by 13, you win. Now, here's the thing. Where there is no 0.5, as you see, attached to any of these lines, which is also referred to as the hook, you can push, or the bet can be voided, which means it's essentially a tie. So if you were to bet the Dolphins at -12 and they win by 12 exactly, you don't win, the sportsbook doesn't win, the bet is voided, and the money goes back into your account. Next up is the total, and this is as easy as it gets. The point total in the game. If you bet the over, you expect there to be more than 46 points. If there are, you win. If you bet the under 46, you're playing for this game to have fewer than 46 points. Now, keep in mind, if you were to bet over 46 and the Baltimore Ravens were to win 47-0, that wins just as a game that goes 35-26 wins, or any other score that gets you over 46 points. Again, if it lands on 46 exactly, the bet pushes. Lastly, we have the money line. Now with the money line, remember I said the minus number is the favorite on the point spread and the plus money is the underdog? Well, think of it in similar terms. The minus number always means that the outcome is more likely to happen than the plus number. So in this case, the Baltimore Ravens at -185 are favored to win this game. The Cincinnati Bengals at +154 are not. Now, think of it another term too. If you wanted to win $100 on the Baltimore Ravens, you would need to bet $185. So with these favored teams, with the minus numbers, you need to bet more to win more. And in the case of the plus numbers, you need to bet less to win more. That's one kind of simple way to look at it. Now, of course, you don't have to bet $100, but that's how these odds work. So in the case of the Cincinnati Bengals at plus 154, you need to bet 100 to win 154. With the Ravens, you would need to bet 185 to win 100. All right, now that we have spreads, totals, and money lines out of the way, let's dig into this game a little bit more and see what else we have. Now, if you click on the game itself, this is where you're going to get a lot of really interesting stuff, like game lines, where you can adjust the spread, you can adjust the total. Always be careful with this stuff, and I would urge you, if you're new to sports betting, to start small. Don't start making any of these alternate spread or alternate total plays. Don't start making crazy parlays or same game parlays. I know it's a lot of fun, but familiarize yourself with all of this before you dive in head first. You also have TD scores, so touchdown scores, whether it's first, last, anytime touchdown scores, and then player props. These are my favorite. Passing props, rushing, receiving props, defense, special team props. All of that stuff can be found once you click on the game itself. We also have the option to parlay certain bets, which means combining all of these bets for a bigger payout. Now, the payout is bigger, but the risk is also bigger. And sportsbooks love when you parlay these. Now, look, make your own decisions, do as you please. I'm just letting you know that generally, in the long run, they are unprofitable. Even though you might see some massive screenshots on Twitter, those people are generally losing a lot more parlays than they're winning. But this is how you do it. All you're doing is combining however many bets you want and then clicking the parlay option. That will take you there. Of course, at the top, you can see that you could bet all of them by themselves as single bets or straight bets, but the parlay option is down there. You can also tease bets as well, which means you could say you're going to buy or sell points on certain teams, but you're not getting as good of a payout. So if you wanted to take a 3-team teaser between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Carolina Panthers and the Miami Dolphins, and you wanted a 7-point 3-team teaser, that means that the Dolphins now become -5, the Panthers at plus 17.5, and the Bengals at plus 10.5. I picked these because, and you can watch all of our videos here on the channel. I think it'll help explain things way better, and there's a lot more time to do so than I have in this video, to learn about parlays, to learn about teasers, and all of this other stuff. When you're teasing bets, never tease through 0, and always try to tease through key numbers. So 3, 7, 6, 10, even 17 in an instance like this, because what are the most common numbers and what are the most common point differentials in football? 3 and 7. And lastly, same game parlays. Now, same game parlays are something that I personally stay away from, but this is how you do it. Once you click into the game, you'll see the same game parlay option up top. All this means is that you can parlay multiple bets or legs from the same game into a parlay. It's a relatively new feature on a lot of sports books, including DraftKings, and they like, again, when users do this. But this is how you do it. You can take player props, passing props, touchdowns. You can take the point spread, total, money line, parlay all of that into one bet for a bigger payout in the same game. And of course, there's the same game parlay plus, which is just outright insanity. But they have it where you can do a parlay of multiple same game parlays, and then you're just wading into murky waters. I assure you, this is something that you probably, at least early on, would like to stay away from. Hopefully that's helpful to all of you guys. If you ever have any questions, hit me up in the comments down here. I'm happy to answer them, or on Twitter at Loughy_D, LOUGHY_D, and have fun betting on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. And as always, must be 21 years or older to gamble. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call or text 1-800-GAMBLER.